Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. We have one of the last nice days of the fall here. We're going to take advantage of some decent weather before winter really rolls in here in Wisconsin. I've got a lake here not too far from my house. I don't have much time to fish based on when I got to pick the kids up from school, but I wanted to get out today. One of my favorite things to do in the fall period is to throw in a rig. Yes, an umbrella rig, guys. I don't get to do it during the tournament season because we're not allowed to throw them in the tournaments, but it is one of the best ways to catch a giant fish. It is one of the best ways to have good numbers of fish caught during the cold period of the year. You know, fish love these things. Now, this is the Picasso schoolie rig. It's the bait ball, one of my favorites. There's a lot of cool things about this bait. I'll walk you through it, but one of the things that I also love about throwing an umbrella rig is that the tush, the core tackle tush, works so well on them. And we've got a couple of specific sizes we just came out with, both an 1/8 ounce and a 1/16 ounce in the 2/0 version. This is the 1/8 ounce size. It's just a really, really good hook for your umbrella rigs, because one of the things that a lot of people don't like to do is put, say, 5 1/4 ounce baits, because that becomes a really heavy bait. You can't slow roll it, and the 1/16 ounce and the 1/8 ounce version give you really good options to throw, whether it's on the entire bait or maybe you want to throw 2 heavier ones and 3 lighter ones, or whatever it is in terms of the bait that you're throwing. Some states allow unlimited number of hooks. Other states like Wisconsin here allow us to throw 3, which is why you see I've added teaser blades to the top and I've got 3 hooked baits. So definitely make sure you check your state regulations as to what you can throw and cannot throw. But if you're looking to catch a giant fish, or you're looking to catch numbers during the cold water season, fall through spring, your umbrella rigs, like the bait ball, the schoolie rig bait ball here, is one of the ones that you want to be looking to throw, because it could lead to one of the best days of fishing throughout the year. So we're going to give it a try here. We want to catch a couple of nice smallmouth. Like I said, I'm trying to take advantage of these last couple of warm days of the year. And we're going to get out there, have ourselves a time, hopefully. If not, I'm going to enjoy it even if I don't catch anything, because winter is a-coming. So let's get at it. Not a big one, but we'll take them. Oh, chunky fall bass. Probably a 2.5 pounder. Not a giant. It didn't take long. It's one of the funnest bites out there. When they hit this thing, it's just a absolute hammer fest. It's like train wreck when they hit it. That's one of the funnest parts about fishing an umbrella rig like the bait ball. Just, you better be ready, because when they hit it, it's like hitting a freight train. Love it. Oh, you knocked slack into it. Ooh. Ooh. You're not that big either. Boy, you knocked slack into it though. Oh. Gotta love chunky fall bass right there. Oh, I love it. 2 3/4. A couple of things to note with this Picasso schoolie rig bait ball. One of the things that I absolutely love about it is the swivel at the head here. So you can see, I'll hold the swivel. You can spin that. So you have very, very much limited the amount of line twist that you get because of that. So that's a huge thing. Another thing that's really cool too is all of the swivels are replaceable. You can just slide that rivet right up and then take the swivel off and then slide the rivet right back down. So it's made to allow you to be able to swap out swivels. So if one of your swivels breaks, you don't have to adjust the bait. Really simple concept that saves you a bunch of bucks. Another reason that that bait's so good. Plus it's got the bronze wire, the Invis-A-Wire. It's just a very, very good bait. Very, very good umbrella rig, I should say, in terms of increasing the amount of vibration, and they've got a bunch of little details in it that really do make a difference in the performance. We're gonna get back to see if we can catch another one or two of these. We need the big ones. Those are the right chunkiness, 2.5, 2 3/4 pounders, but we need the 20 plus inchers, and we'll be looking at some big old bass. So all I'm doing here is I'm letting my bait go to the bottom. I'm fishing like, well, it really depends. I'm fishing a bunch of little rock humps. We're post turnover, and this lake's got some Cisco in it, and the Cisco will come up and spawn in the fall, and they'll get up on these rocky little humps and points. So, I mean, in some instances, I'm throwing up into probably 4 foot. In some instances, I'm letting it go down to about 14. You know, I'm throwing just those light tushes. I got the 1/8 ounce tushes on right now, the 2/0. So it's heavy enough to get it down to the bottom, but still light enough where it's not just like sinking right on the bottom. So I let it go. And then right now, the bites I'm getting seem to be a pretty slow bite. And then I'm just kind of giving it a twitch, and I'm flaring that umbrella rig. I mean, that's really the key to an umbrella rig, is you got to flare it to create a little bit of that reaction strike. So I'm really just trying to keep it close to the bottom, because we do have such cold water temps that the fish really are not, they're not coming up high for it. I mean, they're aggressive if you get it by them, but they don't want to chase up 4 or 5 feet. You really got to keep it pretty much in their wheelhouse, which is why I'm really just kind of creeping it, give it a little pop. Both bites I've had have been with me giving it a little pop. You know, it's almost like I'm fishing a spinnerbait. My favorite way to fish spinnerbait is just kind of what I call throb it, where you're just kind of getting it to flare. But I really want a slow retrieve with that cold water temp. You know, I'm guessing we're probably sitting in the 42, 43 mark. I don't have my Lowrance graphs on today. That's just a matter of they're still with the big boat at the dealership. So, you know, I know where I need to be in terms of fishing the humps, but I don't have the water temps. But my guess is 42, 43 degrees. So really pretty cold. A bunch of the fish are going to be sitting down in their wintering holes, but some of them are still taking advantage of the Cisco that are up shallow. You know, so generally speaking, what you're looking for are humps and points that butt up against some of the deepest water in the lake, because that's where the Cisco are coming from. And the Cisco will move up onto those shallow stuff, generally more so at night, but you still get a lot of the game fish, whether that's smallmouth, muskie, walleye, they're going to be taking advantage of the Cisco. So if you can find the right areas, like I'm just bumping humps. You know, this is the third one. I don't know if you can see, this one actually tops out pretty dang shallow right up there. Behind me, I've got about 35 foot of water. So, you know, those fish should slide right up onto this. And I'm hoping there's still a few more smallmouth. You know, we've caught one off of each hump so far. I'm looking for that mother lode. If you can find one that's active, you could sit there almost all day. So we'll keep plugging away. So your umbrella rig gear really kind of differs a little bit based on the size of your umbrella rig. You know, in this case, I'm throwing one that doesn't weigh a whole lot. The Picasso schoolie rig bait ball, you know, it's a basic size umbrella rig, but remember, I'm only throwing 3 lightly weighted baits here, as well as, you know, having a bunch of blades on it, as you can see. So from that standpoint, I don't have a ton of weight in the bait itself. So I'm fishing it on it's a custom built MHX FP 885. So what that means, it's a 7.4 5 power. So, you know, I would call it probably a light heavy. I mean, this is a flipping rod, but it's not like a super heavy duty punching rod. And then I've got just 17 pound 100% Berkeley trilene fluorocarbon. And then this is just the Xenon X. It's the 8.3 to 1, I think is what it is. So it's a fast one, but again, in this case, I'd like to be able to control the speed of it. So I'd rather be using a faster one, just because I really am fishing from super shallow to, you know, a little bit deeper. But your gear, you know, if you're throwing a big heavy umbrella rig with a ton of different baits on it, or you're trying to fish it a lot deeper, you definitely can go with a heavier rod. And to counter that, you can go lighter too if you're throwing some of your finessey ones. And I know a lot of people out there like to throw braid. I generally do not like to throw braid. If I can get away with fluorocarbon, that to me, generally I get more bites. Now, I will say, if I'm fishing around a ton of standing timber, I do like to throw braid because I know I'm going to get stuck quite a bit. And if I can get my bait back by pulling it free with braid, then I definitely will do it at times. But if I can get away with fluorocarbon, I'd much rather throw fluorocarbon. I do think you get more bites, and generally speaking, whether you're throwing braid or fluorocarbon, one thing about a rig, you know, when you're retrieving it, if they hit this arm, there's a bunch of give in it, in terms of, like, you don't have to worry about pulling the bait away from the fish like you might with some other baits if you're using braid. So I kind of feel like it's up to the angler as to what you prefer, but I definitely feel like if you're fishing clear water and you can fish fluorocarbon, you're probably in a better position to do it. Oh, knocked complete slack into it. Ooh, nice one. Come here, fish. That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. That's a 4-pounder. Whew. Boy, that water's cold. On the old, that's a 4-pounder. Chunky, you are a cold fish. To get you back, the old Picasso schoolie rig bait ball. We got a couple of 3.8 Kitech swing impact fats mixed up with the new core tackle 1/8 ounce tushes. The 1/8 and the 16th ounce are what you need for your umbrella rigs. Oh, that's a fun bite. Well, guys, I think you've seen how well this can work. If you happen to live in a place that gets a little bit of cooler water during the winter months, which is pretty much the entire country. And if you don't freeze over like I do, you can throw this thing for like 6 months out of the year. And you have a shot at catching some big fish just like that one. Man, the umbrella rig gets giant bites. So get yourself a couple of these, throw them during the cold water period, and enjoy the outdoors when everybody else is hunting. I got the whole lake to myself. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and stay tuned. New video coming out tomorrow.